We filed last week a motion to dismiss, essentially arguing that the three cases alleged against Ms. Hoggle don't make out a cogent charge. The law, especially when dealing with district court charges, was not in our favor, but we thought, given the circumstance that she's been held over a year in this particular case, that it was appropriate to bring that to the court's attention.
You said this was becoming detention without meaning. Illusory, you mentioned, you described it as.
I did.
Explain that.
In our view, the charges, again, the facts of the case, don't make out the specific charges. So at the end of the day, what is she really being held on? The state's attorney's office, and they're doing their job, have made several public statements that these charges will never be held, will never be heard, and will never be held in the district court. If that's the case, then why are we here? If there are going to be other charges filed, we believe in the legal process. Let it happen. Let's deal with the mental health issues in that circumstance. Let's deal with the issues of criminal responsibility in that circumstance. But if everybody thinks, and if the plan by the prosecution is that these cases are not going to go forward in the district court, then with all due respect to the district court, why are we in the district court? That was the logic of our argument. We respect Judge Simmons' ruling. He's a fine jurist. We understand where he's coming from, and we'll just have to come back in February.
At this point, she's been detained for more than a year, you said.
Yes.
How long does this go on if the doctors continue to say that she's incompetent?
That's our point. There is a point at which, if the doctors determine that she is not restorable to competency, the case takes on sort of a different procedural posture. They have not yet made that determination. My understanding is that the doctors are working diligently. That may be a determination made in the future. I'm certainly not a mental health professional, and I can't speak to it, but when it gets to be over a year, it's significant.
How bad is it in terms of her mental competency? I mean, what does she and doesn't she understand?
I can't speak to that. I'm certainly not in anyone else's mind. I can't speak to that. All I can tell you is that the doctors find, as the judge stated, that there is a substantial amount of confused thinking. There is a substantial amount of, whether it's misunderstanding or not able to process, I don't know, her legal predicament. There are significant issues, and she's compliant with all of the medical treatment, including taking the medication. So, at some point, in our view, this is illusory.
Do you intend to raise that motion to dismiss at a later date, at a later court?
We're not in a position to make any strategic decisions at this time. We'll have to see what charges eventually go forward. We'll have to see where we are. Does anyone else have any questions? Thank you very much.